There are a few movements I'm a bit like, is this more for show, or maybe is this because you're a bit limited to options? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give you the bad news now. The puppy isn't here. He's on the sesh probably. He's probably out with the lads. I don't know what puppies do, but he's doing something. So if you came for the puppy, then I understand if you want to click off the video. But if you came for me, although unlikely, I would appreciate if you did stay. This individual has been quite requested in the comment section, especially over the last few weeks. Her name is Anna. She goes by Growingannanas on Instagram and YouTube, I believe. I've probably butchered that, but if I have butchered that, then Austin, who's probably the first comment on this video, has also butchered that because that's how he pronounced it as well. When I looked at her name, for some reason I thought growing bananas. So I was like, how could I incorporate bananas into the headwear today? And I was thinking, and then suddenly this happened, and it's so uncomfortable, and it's also too small for my big head. Got a banana on my head. I've been looking to use this one for weeks, and here it is. It's awful, it's horrendous, but the things I do for the videos, Obviously, as you know, we're very close to 20,000 subscribers, which is madness, absolutely insane. And a lot of my content is essentially reacting to, reviewing, or analysing the content of other influencers in the fitness industry for both educational and entertainment purposes. As a thank you for reaching 20,000 subscribers when we get there, I'm going to release a template essentially teaching you how to structure your own program aligning with your goals. It's not the only way to structure a program, it's just a way that I deem to be very effective and also simple and easy to understand, which is a big win. And the program will be completely free as a thank you for supporting and tolerating me and the channel and the puppy. But now that's out of the way, it's video time, let's crack on. This hat is horrendously uncomfortable and now the screen is very bright. So Anna is a content creator who focuses a lot on creating workouts for people. And at the moment, a lot of those workouts seem to be surrounding home workouts, which I assume is due to the events of the last year and a half or so. But before that, I am aware that she used to do a lot of CrossFit-based workouts, as I assume that was her kind of sport of choice at the time. So a lot of the workouts I've seen of her are HIIT workouts, which is great. A few people have actually asked me to look at more HIIT workouts. Her movement section is pretty decent in the grand scheme of things. Like things like this is fine. It's going to get the heart rate up. It's going to burn some calories, which I assume is the primary purpose of a lot of these workouts, and provided you aren't hindered by any injuries like any knee problems, then you're laughing when it comes to stuff like this. I'll tell you what I did notice is look at that depth. That's good depth. It's not excessively low like I believe it was Kim's squat in the last video. She's not cutting it high, she's not going too low, she's bang on. Weight distribution seems pretty on it. She's not shifting left and right much, she's not tilting forward and back. The distribution seems to be very much over the center of her feet. Technically, it's looking good. Things like this, when you've got like static lunges, whatever you want to call them, great stuff, I like that. I'm not too sold on the heel lift, obviously I'm not really sure what the primary purpose of that is. Yeah, I get obviously getting additional calf involvement from that, and if you're really delving into it a bit deeper, you're more than likely targeting the soleus a bit more. I'd say another thing I do notice is look how close her knee is to the floor. You see that? Look how close her knee is to the floor. She's tickling it. If she had sufficient knee hair and there was grass, she'd be tickling those blades of grass. So I like that. Granted, she doesn't really give any tips surrounding like how you should perform certain movements in this. I think based on what she's doing, if you can copy her at least as much as you can, then you're going down a good path. She's also rather strong, because that's not easy. Press-ups are hard enough for a lot of people. When you're chucking an explosive-based press-up, obviously with the clap, that's pretty impressive. And her range of motion, again, is fantastic. I'm impressed with this good source. So when people are doing press-ups, a lot of the times they flare their elbows quite a lot. So they're essentially like, obviously you can't really see, but imagine you could. They flare their elbows like this, which then puts their shoulders in quite a compromised position. If you notice her elbow positioning, it's like she's almost tucking her elbows along the side. Arguably, it could be a bit more tricep dominant, but regarding range of motion, you'll probably find it easier to get closer to the floor doing this. Regarding shoulder health, you'll probably find it less strenuous on the shoulders. So I would always say if you can, tuck the elbows a bit more into press-ups, maybe like either tucked right in, so elbows are running along the side if you want a bit more tricep involvement, or maybe 45 degrees. You don't need to flare out at 90, that's not really a great time for anyone. And you may find it a bit easier to do press-ups if you can alter the technique slightly. I like this because she's showing that you can utilize things outside of the gym and outside of the home environment to actually train. So obviously she's doing dips here and her range of motion is phenomenal. I understand that not everyone can go down this low because sometimes you may have injuries that hinder your ability to go all the way down, but the tricep dip is a fantastic movement for upper body development, especially when you're looking at chest, shoulders, triceps. Obviously 2 seconds before we continue, 300 likes on the video would be a big win. As I've said so many times before, it does show me you do like the videos, and I don't want to waste your time by making videos that you don't like, because that's kind of counterproductive considering the purpose of this channel is to hopefully provide some benefit to those who choose to watch it. And on top of that, obviously, as I said at the start, 20,000 subscribers, we're tickling the number, we're getting very close. I think we're about 19.2k now, so I would really appreciate it if you did slap the subscribe button and the bell next to it to get notified when I do upload every week, because when we get to 20,000 subscribers, I'm giving you free stuff, and who doesn't love free stuff? End of the video, common question of the week. If you have a question you want me to answer, drop it down below in the comment section, and I shall do so at the end of the next video. Before I let you crack on with the rest of the video, I am sorry the puppy's not here. I will ensure he's heavily involved in future videos, but hopefully the choice of headwear this week has kept you somewhat entertained and engaged, if for no other reason than to enjoy my suffering, considering it's extremely uncomfortable and warm. But now that's out of the way, we'll crack on with the rest of the video. So now we're going to have a quick gander at her YouTube channel. The first thing I actually saw, which I am again very impressed by, I don't know of a lot of other influencers that actually include a thorough warm up and cool down. Most of the time it's like a 30-second to a minute just kind of blitz, whereas if you look at what she's doing, both her warm up and cool downs are a few minutes, which is good because it shows that she's not rushing through things. So this is her round butt booty workout, obviously my favorite kind of workout, and as you can tell from my bottom, which you never see for many reasons, it's a workout that I would do often. Obviously a lie, considering I have dead glutes, but we're working on it. Give it a year. Honestly, next summer, you're going to see TFNL Big Glutes. I'm going to make a t-shirt that says TFNL Big Glutes on it, and you're going to be like, geez, wow, how are you really filling out those leggings? I'll say, you know what? I told you I would. So 12 months time, hold me to that. The thing is, with like home workouts like this where it's like no equipment, no repeat, I do understand that options are a little bit limited. There is only so much you could do at home, and I do respect that. The purpose of the leg kick here is literally just to shift weight from the left side to the right side, essentially overloading that sense by making it harder, because if you were maintaining weight on both feet, it'll be evenly distributed across the left and the right. To go onto one foot, all the weight is now shifted to that singular side, thus making it harder because it's having to hold more weight. Yeah, you will get a burn, but it's essentially because you are holding a contraction with a bit of resistance, and that resistance is being your body weight in this case, for a significant period of time. Like if you were to just squeeze your bum, you'd probably get sore bottom after a while. I don't mean like the Savlon sore bottom, I mean like the actual like sore glutes, which is fine, which is great. It's again better than nothing, and it's something. Always be sure to manage expectations. It's unlikely you're going to develop mass glute muscle from doing things like this, but it will certainly do something. The purpose of the hamstring curl is kind of not really there, because there is no load, there's no mass tension other than a bit of body weight tension until you get past the 90-degree mark in the hamstrings. You're merely contracting the glutes for a significant period of time by holding the leg up, and the curl itself isn't really doing a mass amount. You're not really going to target the hamstrings from doing things like this. I would probably lean more towards things like this, where obviously it's a multi-joint movement where you've got to squat into a curtsy lunge. Although you are bringing in other muscles as well, like the quads and whatnot, I feel like you are likely going to get a bit more benefit to the glutes because you're going through an active range of motion rather than just merely holding tension for a significant period of time. Granted, a combination of both is a good time, but it's nice to see she is including multi-joint movements as well as contraction-based holds, essentially. So we're looking at a 20-minute toned arms and shoulder workout with weights, apparently. And obviously you know how much I love toning, because if there's one place I could spend the rest of my life, it would probably be the tone zone. That's actually what T in TFNL stands for. Tone. What she's doing here is essentially a front raise. For a lot of gym-based programs, I probably wouldn't place a mass amount of emphasis on anterior delt isolation work. So if you think about it, your deltoid is split into, I guess, 3 primary heads. Anterior side, a lot of people call it the medial or the lateral. We'll just call it the side for the argument's sake. And the posterior. When doing any chest work, any be that press or fly variations or any shoulder presses, it's very anterior delt heavy. So your anterior delt is under quite a lot of load quite a lot of the time. And because of that, I then tend to maybe place a little less direct emphasis on the anterior delt through isolation movements like front raises and whatnot, whereas I tend to focus a lot more of my energy on the side and posterior delt. For a lot of people, the posterior delt is naturally quite weak or quite underdeveloped. That can lead to a lot of like rounding and hunching of the shoulders, which can then negatively impact mobility, increase the likelihood of injury. Take home message from this is, yeah, for workouts like this, I get the purpose of including front delt work or anterior delt work. For most people, a lot of emphasis should probably be side and rear, and the only real anterior delt heavy work I'll be doing is either secondary through chest work or primary through shoulder pressing, so vertical pressing or pushing. You know, you see all the gym bros that go in and they're like, okay, Monday, it's chest day, international chest day on a Monday, and then Tuesday, I'll probably do bench. Wednesday, I'll probably do close grip bench. Thursday, I might do chest again. Friday, I might do bench again. Saturday, I might do close grip bench again. That then leads to a lot of anterior rotation like this, where they're hunched forward. You know the ones that walk around like this and they're a bit like angry face. That's like me. When in reality, you don't want overdeveloped anterior delts because you don't want to walk around like this. I don't believe it's particularly great for your posture, nor do I believe it's particularly great for your training. There's a good balance between bicep work, tricep work, and shoulder work. Granted, it seems like shoulders are more dominant in this workout, but that's probably how I would structure it myself. The majority of her more recent videos may lean more towards targeting beginners and intermediates. I think the fundamental movement patterns are pretty solid, and I think in many cases her exercise selection is also pretty good. There are a few movements I'm a bit like, is this more for show, or maybe is this because you're a bit limited to options due to the nature of the video? So many things to consider. As a whole, I'm actually quite impressed. Again, this is very much dependent on your goals, and this is merely in my opinion based on what I have seen. Obviously, I haven't seen everything. Upon exposure to additional content in the future, my opinion is subject to change, and provided Anna's workouts align well with your goals, from what I'm seeing, that seems to be more towards those who are keen to work out from home and maybe lose fat or maybe even build a little bit of muscle. These videos seem to align quite well with that. So provided you want to achieve what she is training you for, essentially, I would say I'm pleasantly surprised. I think she's doing some good stuff. But that's it. That's the video. Like I said, I'm really impressed with Anna. I think it's good stuff. Granted, my opinion is subject to change, but from what I have seen, and I've seen a fair amount away from this video, I am quite impressed, to be honest. I think she's doing some good stuff. Again, it's very much dependent on your goals. Some people will love what she's doing, some people won't. But now that's done, obviously you know it's time for comment question of the week. A good morning's worth doing, or should I stick to RDLs and the GHD machine that my CrossFit box has? Good mornings are a fantastic movement. I'm a big fan of good mornings. If it came to choosing between the RDL and the good morning, based on me, my leverages, and how I feel the movement, I prefer doing the RDL. And I find that it hits my hamstrings and my glutes far better than the good morning does. Whereas I find the good morning to be a bit more erector, like lower back dominant. But again, that's just me personally. You may feel differently. The GHD being the glute ham developer, or the GHL, the glute ham raise. I've probably got a picture on the screen now. Really great movement for posterior chain, especially the hamstrings, and especially if you do it well. And if you don't quite have the strength or ability to do a full GHR, chuck a band over your chest, or like a pageant queen, you know, wear it across the shoulder like so, and get someone to hold it behind you if you trust them, because if they let go, that first of all, that's a ping on the back, and that hurts, or you're going down. Not ideal. But yeah, get someone to hold it and essentially give you a bit of additional help through the movement. As I said before, 300 likes on the video, I will love you forever. Well, I already do love you forever, but I would love you even more and for longer. 20,000 subscribers, we're nearly there, so I would really appreciate if you did take the time out of your day just to click the red button down below and maybe the bell next to it to get notified when I do upload every week. And if you do have a question you want me to answer at the end of the next video, drop it down below in the comment section for comment question of the week, and I shall do so. But regardless of whether you agreed or disagreed with my opinion throughout the video, I do really appreciate your time, and I appreciate your engagement and your support. So thank you for tolerating the video.